Hello and welcome to Sport This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
It's great to have you join us again. I'm Tayo Salah.
And the final is set. We have Ogun and Kwara State. Both of them will be competing in the finals of the China's International Kids Cup on Saturday.
Yes, definitely you're correct. That's African Church from Ogun State and Burhanuddin from Kwara State. I know today is rest day, Cecilia, but I suspect both schools will get in at least one more practice session today before tomorrow's championship decided. So all the best to African Church Primary School and Burhanuddin Primary School as well.
In Match Day 21 action begins on Sunday in the Nigerian Professional Football League, and the big game everyone is looking forward to, including me, is the game between FC Ifeanyi and of course Kano Pillars. That game was the opening game of the season and it was abandoned. Right now, there is another one, Kano Pillars coming to the east.
Yes, so now that you mentioned it, that game didn't end. Terrible scenes, opening day scenes, I remember that one vividly. Yeah, but that's in the past now, and this is match day 21. And after that 2-1 win, I beg your pardon, after that 3-0 win in Ibadan last week, I think it's safe to say fans of Ifeanyi will turn up to the stadium, with very high expectations.
Yes.
I mean, when you win 3-0 away from home, you're supposed to come home and consolidate. So we'll find out this weekend if FC Ifeanyi can't do the business over Kano Pillars. Let's move on the show now. Let's talk about basketball. In the NBA, the Cleveland Cavaliers have closed out their Eastern Conference Finals matchup against the Celtics with a dominant 135-102 Game 5 win in Boston. Cleveland's 4-1 series win now sets up a finals trilogy against the Golden State Warriors. Cecilia, this is the final everyone has been expecting. We honestly hope they will, encounter some tough battles, from the first round to the semifinals. It didn't exactly pan out that way because the Warriors are perfect. 12-0, if I'm correct. The Cavs dropped just one. 12-1. So
I'm like, well, I think it wasn't as competitive as we expected. Remember, we're always waiting for the playoffs to start, though that regular season was over. But then it was just more like a continuation of the playoffs, of the regular season, because we didn't really see that competitive edge we all wanted. But then this man right here, LeBron James, he was the story of last night, where you have him. I mean, he had to surpass the record of Michael Jordan as the highest scoring player in the playoffs. It took him 212 postseason games to surpass Jordan, who had a six-time NBA champion who played 179 playoff games. Well, James entered Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Final while thinking he would be able to. He needed just 28 points to surpass that, being on 5,987. But then he reached the milestone in the third quarter and scoring 35 points in all, as the Cavs got something bigger and better. And of course, LeBron James also making history on the night. Yeah,
LeBron is the king right now, basically. I mean, he's been compared all his life to Michael Jordan, right from he came from high school into the NBA, and I believe he's done, he's earned the right to be in the same conversation, to be in the same sentence with MJ, and like I said, he made history on the night by becoming the top scorer, the all-time top scorer in postseason, history, and so that's LeBron James for you. It's called. How many points did he score last night? He scored about
35
points last night.
8 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals. It was an all-round performance.
Correct. You're very correct. And because of that, now LeBron is way ahead of MJ on a 5,995 points, and Michael Jordan is in second with 5,987. And for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is third on that list, and you have Kobe Bryant on that list as well too. You have Shaquille O'Neal as well. So
is going to set something that for anyone to break it, it's going to take many years to come.
Yeah.
Because right now he's still playing so many
and
games.
He's still relatively young.
Very, very.
So
32 years old.
Yeah, 32.
So he can play till he's 38.
Yeah, barring any serious injuries because that's
threatening injury.
Yeah, that's part of the game as well. So it can happen, but LeBron doesn't even have that kind of history against him in terms of injury. But where do we? I mean, I don't think we should. The comparison, we shouldn't really go overboard. With it. MJ is an absolute legend.
Of course.
And interestingly, when LeBron broke that record...
I think it's 6 championship, remember?
Correct. When LeBron broke that record yesterday, the finger up, like, I'm number one. And I'm thinking, no, you're not number one. MJ is out of reach.
Number one.
MJ is out of reach because of the 6 rings he has. And LeBron is a long shot from that. And I'm not sure he can get there. But he's an absolute legend as well, too, regardless of if he wins 6 rings or not. He's a sure Hall of Famer when he's done with the game. And let's just leave it at that.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. But then the thing is, they close out the series winning 5-1. That's the way it ended. No, 4-1.
4-1, yeah. And confirmation of that result. 135, 102.
So it was a blowout.
Yes, it was a proper... annihilation, proper thumping and busting. And we've been talking about LeBron a lot. Other players had decent games as well. So Kyrie Irving had 24 points. Kevin Love finished with 15 points for the Cavs. And the Cavs
Williams 14 points also.
Yeah, they were totally dominant. I mean, they didn't trail in this game at all, and they led by as many as 39 points in the game. Yeah. So I can't wait
for it to start.
Yeah,
right?
It's going to be explosive. I mean, just looking at the both sides. On the Warriors side, I mean, the depth and the quality is just out of this world. And if you look at the Cavs as well, so you can say the same thing about them. And the Warriors will have revenge in their minds after what happened last year.
Okay, it's going to happen. But then opening game is Thursday next week in Oakland. We'll just wait and keep our fingers crossed.